Hello everyone, my name is Habib Abdullah. I'm here to continue the night entertainment. We are in episode 10. The, the topic of the episode 10 is the forest of death. For 2 months, Abu walking on, all the time the black mass in the distance seeming to mock his effort. Try as he will, yet it never seeming to get any nearer. He fed on forest through it over until tongue was sore. He tramping until his feet blistering and healing again. Abu Lars saw a pillar of smoke rising out of the kurmi. He hoped mounting a new energy offloading his entire body, and he did not pause a moment until he came to the house from which the smoke arose. A man was skinning antelope near a fire. He was a great hook of a man, and his body was completely covered with the hair. Abu was afraid to talk to him. "Who are you?" The man roaring out, reaching for his hoe. I am Putra Bela. I am on my way to Kremelriki." The hairy man put down his bow and lay him for a long time. The hairy man put down his bow and lay him for a long time. Ha 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 ha. Yes, this is how they suffer. Here I am in this bush. For a year now I have not seen a human face. And then the first man I saw want to go and they died in Kwemerigiki. Ha 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 ha. A shiver ran down Abu's spine. "Show me the way," he is stammering. "I will show you soon, I know. I am hunter in this district, but there are certain limits beyond which I may not travel. I will take you there. I am ready, but not further." The hunter housing Abu for 7 days, nursing his cow, feeding him back to his proper weight, and all the time telling him to give up the idea of visiting Kurmaragiki. The Abu laughing, as a talk, the man were talking like a child. I did not go back when the Kurmaragiki hit. I dream how that I can almost touch it with my hand. You ask me to go back? Listen, on my way to this place, I have been robbed, beaten, put in jail. My ear has been cut, and yet you are a brave man indeed. Have no fear about my return. I have strong reason for believing that I shall return. And what is that? My dear friend, it's too long story. I have been badly threatened in this world just because I have no money. He shook his head, and the hunter appeared so deeply sympathetic that they told him the story of Malam Shehu. "Do not try dissuading me as you have done for so. It will be no use. I leave for Kulmuriki tomorrow." The next morning, the hunter led him to his limit, and with tear on this grisly, hairy face, shook his hand. "I cannot go any further. Good luck, and may Allah bless you." Abu walking until well into the afternoon, at last arrived at the forest. It was terrible forest. This Kurumul Rikiki, even at midday, no light penetrated into its depth, and it was completely trackless. Abu walking his way inside through the thorn and stinging insects and snakes. He wandered about in all day and at night. He slept for a day and then made a little headway, and at last become clear to him that he will never know the right tree and such gloom. And among the many Abu wept had come thus Reaper had borne until suffering, and was at last the end of this journey. But where was the substance? He sucked. What was the use of carrying about the God who up he was going to put nothing into it? One night was awakened by a brilliant glow. Sometime was shining at the foot of the tree. Cautiously he made his way to the bright spot, in with a sudden leap, longing at it, but his hand came in contact with something cold and sleepy. A python with a yell, he thrust his way and thudding heavily to the ground. Abu could not sleep. That night he walking about the forest, unable to get the horror of the python out of his mind, every moment expecting to attack him. It was some days later when he again saw that the glittering object. This time it was higher up on a tree. And Abu threw stick at it. There was mighty explosion. He was flung his at the treetop to land on a carpet of spike in insect. He lay there as senseless for a long time. His mouth was battering and swallowing, his face cut in many places. One of his eye and had been blinding, but he had not lost his precious God. When he come out of his coma, he was cute, certain that he was going to die in forest. He crawling his knees, but felt like helpless, too weak person, and nature seeming to have helped him recover his strength. He could not stagger around his feet, through his body was as stiff as wood. Soon afterward, he stumbling blindly against the glittering object. Again, he pushing himself away from it, and when he touching it, gas of surprise escaped him. In his hand was an old woman. She was so old that her body was shriveling and her face a mass of wrinkles. The hair on her head was white, as bleaching cold, and she was weak, the burden of her years. My son, she covering. What was that you prefer to sacrifice so much for? What do you want in this enchanting forest of death? Abu mumbling her story all over again, and the old woman told him how very sorry she was to hear. I am going to give you this sap, not because you have been deprived of your rightful wife and want vengeance, but out of pity for your suffering. She went to a tree and made 3 mark on it. Have you got a container for the sap? The Abu proceeding the God of heart kept so long, and he feeling for him, run out of its forest before I harm you. Quick, as the old woman spoke, her face changed, hair grew out and around her eye, and her body took on form a leopard. She turned a wild growl and chasing the terrifying Abu out of Kurmariki, he found his way back to the hunter Elijah. So here is the continuation of this topic, episode 10. Here are the moral lesson. Number 1, the determination of success in life is good. One should always be determined and brave to overcome problems in life. Bravery can be rewarding, although not always. Number 2, to revenge is bad. Those who try to revenge in other always suffering in the process themselves. So listener, here is the episode 7, which title is The Forest of Death. Do you hear all how Abu Bakr took himself in that forest and how the ending will happen? So the moral lesson, it's already been written. Thank you listener for listening to this topic. Thank you. Next time.